Dear friends, hello, salam alaikum to all the viewers from all the world. Today is 27th of December 2020 and we are with my usual suspect or guest, Mr. Gjergji Thanasi from Durrës in Albania, going to discuss again happenings and developments here in Albania. And of course, this time we are, like very often, going to discuss about the latest news from the jihadi camp of the Mojahedeen al-Halq that we have here in Albania, and the allegations of Maryam Rajavi and her Mojahedeen command about the Iranian regime and its connections in Albania. Behind me is the Adriatic Sea. It is raining, so probably you are going to hear the noise of the rain in the background. And me and my friend Gjergji Thanasi, who are usual suspects attacked by the Mujahideen mafia here in Albania, we're going to respond to many attacks that they have issued against us in the past weeks. The latest article, there is an article that has been published against me and Gjergji in one of the fake news websites that the jihadi command of Manza runs from Albania by producing fake news. And in one of their articles, the Iranian Mujahideen attack us, two journalists, and a number of other international experts on issues of terrorism about a conference that we did in December 2017 here in Tirana, Albania, when we discussed the danger that terrorist organizations like PKK, the Kurdish PKK, PJJAK, Daesh or ISIS, Jabhat al-Nusra, and of course MEK or MEK, the Mojahedeen al-Halq, pose to the security of the Mediterranean. In the article that Maryam Rajavi mafia has published against us, they show me and Gjergji and a very respected lady from London, from UK. Her name is Anne Singleton or Anne Khodabande, and they accuse all of us scholars who analyze the threat that terrorist groups bring to Europe as people who have connections with the Iranian regime. So without further ado, I want to invite my very experienced and award-winning journalist, Mr. Gjergji Thanasi, who has taken an award from the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, to discuss what is happening with MEK in Albania, and furthermore we will have to respond to some questions that the high military command of MEK has issued against me and Gjergji. Gjergji, welcome.
Thank you. Well, I strongly believe that MEK in Albania is facing an existential threat, not from Tehran, but from the international situation in general, and coupled with COVID-19 virus pandemics. President Trump might not swear another time on January 21st, and we may have in USA President Joe Biden. Joe Biden means return to the agreement with Tehran about the restriction of the nuclear thing, etc., etc. Meaning the trump card of MEK has become a toilet paper. As mercenaries, they are of little help because they cannot be used as agents provocateurs, they cannot be used as matchsticks to light a fire here and there in the Middle East. They cannot be used anymore because they are not needed as a troll factory to produce false news or to justify acts of terror against Iran, etc., etc. Of course, they will have their patrons, yet a change of guard in the White House is an existential threat to MEK. Second, in Albania, as throughout the world, we have pandemics, COVID-19. This virus is killing people in Albania, but it is killing people en masse in Ashraf 3 camp at the small town of Manos in the municipality of Durrës in Albania. Meaning, MEK members are dying just like the leaves fall from the trees in late autumn. And this is quite a problem, because God's will, I believe, the dissidents of this cult living in Tirana a normal life, enjoying their life, working when they can, living on money coming from their relatives in the Iranian diaspora, etc., etc., have experienced not one case of COVID-19, even a light thing, nothing, nada, niente, ria, nisto, etc., etc. So, we have two worlds that are called worlds. One, COVID-19 ridden, the other one, COVID-19 free.
So we have the Mojahedeen camp, which is
It is not anymore a camp, it is a lazaretto. It is a hospital for catching disease.
So yeah, we have one on one side. We have the camp of Maryam Rajavi, which is infected by COVID. People are dying and
COVID-ridden, not just infected.
COVID-ridden,
COVID-ridden.
massively infected. You have made a number of pictures of their graves.
No, I didn't make them. I took some snapshots of fresh graves.
Of fresh graves, which belong to the Mujahedeens.
And there were two types of fresh graves. Ones with flowers and the leaves withered, meaning 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 weeks old. And there were 3 such graves, and there were 6 others fresh graves. The flowers, the leaves were still fresh, meaning 2, 3, maximum 4 days old. So there is a progress in the deceased, in the dead persons in the camp.
So you have proven to the world that the Mujahedeen camp or the jihadis of Maryam Rajavi are dying in mass because of COVID-19. Am I right?
Well, there are 2 theories. Either they have died because of COVID, or they have been executed by the other inmates.
All right.
Maryam Rajavi can choose either COVID or execution. He can choose.
All right.
But it is not natural death,
And-
meaning of old age, of past illness, etc.
And on the other hand, we have the opposition to the Maryam Rajavi, the people who have abandoned violent jihad and terrorism, who they have live a good life,
A normal life.
free
a normal
free
life.
of infection, in Tirana, in freedom, right?
Well, this is right. And when I say something, I back it with documents or photos. I have published on Ashraf News, Iraqi media, also on my Facebook, also on that Impact newspaper online, photos of the dissidents of Rajavi cult enjoying themselves, drinking Pepsi Cola, eating, singing these Mevlud songs, because they had a festivity, an Iranian festivity of ancient origin, pre-Islamic origin, and they enjoy themselves. So we have death and illness on one part, normal life, parties, soft drinks, nice traditional dishes, Iranian dishes, even kiza, a very special Iranian dish. I learned the name kiza. This is life, death and life, light and darkness.
All right. You have published 2 articles recently. One is that Tirana is finally taking a new Iranian ambassador here,
It is not taking. The new Iranian ambassador has come to
Albania.
and he is preparing the red
Diplomatic.
tape to hand over to His Excellency the President of the Republic, Mr. Ilir Meta, the credential papers.
Great. So you wrote that Maryam Rajavi is going crazy because Albania is again taking a new Iranian ambassador. Why do you think Maryam Rajavi is going crazy about that?
I don't think I know. There is a difference between thinking and knowing. She moved heaven and earth and managed to bulldoze Premier Rama into kicking out of Albania the previous Iranian ambassador on charges. I'm not saying false charges, I'm saying just charges, to be diplomatic, on charges of him supporting terrorism, violating, infringing the articles of Vienna Convention of April 1961. So he was kicked out, and when I say kicked out, I mean it. Even the, not only, even the, how can I say, the connotation of the word. Now we have a new ambassador. So all her struggle went for nothing. She got nothing in the end. She keeps one ambassador, another one came. And this one maybe is better fit to Albania because he has had a stint several years in Harare, the capital city of Zimbabwe. So he has more experience how to deal with dictators and semi-dictators. There he had to deal with Mugabe. Here he will have to deal with Premier Rama. So he might be for Rajavi even more dangerous than the previous one. The previous one was more an academic type, one decorated several medals, one of them for his contribution in signing that deal about the restriction of nuclear program of Iran, the nuclear deal. So he was more of an academic type. This one is more of
experience with dictators.
Yes, with rich experience in dealing with dictators and semi-dictators. Excuse me?
Good. Now,
okay, thank you.
Now, when was it? 2 nights ago?
Yes.
One of defectors of MEK, his name was Ghulam
Mirzaei.
managed to, after freeing himself from the MEK camp, he was a prisoner of war during the Iran-Iraq war, who was taken as a hostage by Maryam Rajavi gang.
Not so. He was a prisoner of war. Then he went to her camp with promise that you take one action with us, and then you are free to go to Europe.
Yes, they cheated him.
Yes, of course.
And he finally, after coming to Albania, escaped from the camp.
He was one of the first to give the slip to Rajavi.
Okay.
Very nice person.
And then 2 nights ago, he finally flew back into freedom in Iran by escaping from the persecution of MEK. The Mojahedeen command have attacked continuously Ghulam as an Iranian agent, Iranian spy, and so many things. And finally, he got freed. Can you explain us how was the process? How did he manage to free himself from?
It was not easy. And when I say it was not easy, I mean not that the Iranian government, Iranian Ministry of Interior, whatever, created problems to him. They treated him just like a poor old man. Okay, he wants to come back, let him come back. They did all the paperwork, all the red tape in a very short time. So they didn't consider him a risk to Iran. Let him come home. The problem was the bureaucracy of Albanian state police, especially the Directorate of Counter-Terrorism, and also the Albanian Secret Service, what we call SHIK, S-H-I-K.
Why? What did they do?
This is strange. Rajavi and the whistling segments of our police and secret service did their best to kick Isambidi, another Iranian dissident of PKK, out of Albania, even risking to create
a diplomatic incident.
Not only a diplomatic, but also an exchange of fire on the Greek Albanian border. So, they wanted to kick him out by all means. In this case, they wanted to keep Mr. Ghulam Mirzaei in Albania by all means. This is very strange. He went, together with other dissidents and also an Albanian friend, several times to La Praca, where the main facility of
the immigration
police is situated. And every time he was well received with a broad smile on the face of the non-commissioned officer or the officer in charge, and said, well, we are sorry, we have problems with COVID, we lack personnel, come another time in 1 week, in a fortnight, then again in 1 week, in fortnight, we are sorry, but there are some difficulties in processing your file. Our police, according to the law, should write a letter that because so and so, meaning Mr. Mirzaei, wants to leave Albania, he has got permission from Iranian embassy to receive travel document. Okay, pass, what is it in French? The pass to go to Iran. Only one letter, nothing else. Because if he was a threat to Albanian security, keep him here or kick him out, whatever. But don't say we are short of personnel because of COVID-19 virus. So they did their best, but there was a limit in what they could do legally. So after 5 or 6 times going there, after showing every document on the Iranian side, after informing them that I will hire a lawyer, a solicitor, and we shall meet in court, they issued the necessary paper that he can leave because he is okay. Oh, good, very good. They had a party, a farewell party in Tirana. They informed the police that we shall have a limited farewell party, less than 10 persons, according to COVID-19 emergency law in Albania. Yet the police gave permission, okay, it's all right, it is within the limits of the law. Yet a patrol car of the Tirana police went to the bar, Frank bar, where they were having the party, and said, we shall fine you, you are violating the law. They explained that the bar is closed, we have pulled down the Venetian blinds, here you have the permission from the chief of police. He was a commissar of the police, meaning a major in army ranks, and you are a non-commissioned officer. So, yes, he is, but I've got orders. From whom? I've got orders. From whom? So, a non-commissioned officer was more powerful than a major, the equal rank of a major in our police force. Mysterious. Okay, I am a Christian. God works in mysterious ways. I know this. So, they transferred the party in the flat of one of the dissidents, and they continued with the party. This was only the beginning. I hope you will not get annoyed with me, but you have to be patient. So, they went to the airport. They received written permission from e-Albania, Electronic Albania, to travel during the curfew time. So they were within the Albanian law, emergency law, COVID-19 emergency law, and they reached Rinas Airport, the only civilian airport of Albania. There, they were surrounded by uniformed and plainclothes policemen or Secret Service agents, as if they were a bunch of bank robbers or terrorists.
Or suicide bombers.
Suicide bombers, because they had overcoats. It's cold in Albania, see the way I am dressed. And then Mr. Mirzaei was asked for almost 1 hour, question after question.
Was interrogated.
More than interrogation, it was a kind of conversation. Why are you leaving Albania? Where have you found the money to live in Albania? Who are your Albanian friends? Why are you preferring to go to Iran instead of staying in Albania? How did you receive this or that document? Legal document signed and sent by the police. They read one document, the other, okay, but we need this, here you are, we need this, here you are. He showed them even the payment that the receipt for paying utilities, water, energy supply for his flat. So he was clean, completely clean. Then they searched their luggage, a very thorough search. Well, our police, not customs, are well trained by our foreign partners. They searched using the latex gloves. They researched it because somebody made a call and they researched it and they found absolutely nothing. Then the same questions. It was a lady. She was in a uniformed police officer, non-commissioned officer, and she asked, "Why are you leaving the first day of your 30 days permission to leave Albania?" Because embassy gave him 30 days to leave
police.
Albania.
Or the
Police and the embassy.
And the embassy, yeah.
He had 30 days to leave Albania for Tehran. And he said, "I prefer the first one because of COVID-19. Okay. When they began, have you got money with her? Have you got weapons? Have you got drugs? Blah, blah, blah. Again, several questions. After the police was over, the custom officers were over with him very quickly. The security of the private security of the airport was over with him very quickly. He went to catch his bus to go from the terminal through the tarmac to the airplane. Then he was stopped. At the moment he was climbing into the bus. "Please get out, show us your luggage." He opened the luggage just on the pavement. He showed them the same. They researched the luggage. Then they told him, "What is this?" "It is a computer. I have laptop. I have declared it. I have shown to your colleagues." They had an interpreter with them because Mr. Mirzaei speaks some English. So then they said, "Turn on the laptop. We want to search. Maybe there are Albanian military secrets in it." Okay, plugged in the laptop and turned it on. The laptop was empty. They said, "Why there is no material, nothing in your laptop? Why it is empty?" "Well, I wanted to erase everything leading me to Albania," he said. "Well, why did you?" "Because I wanted to." Can you imagine why it's empty? Of course, if there is something, a military secret or whatever, or pornography, child pornography, okay. But why it is empty? Generally, the question is why there is this or that thing in your laptop, but not why it is empty. Then the other passengers began to protest, saying, "Oh, we want to go to Turkey. Why are you keeping him?" A few phone calls exchanged, and he was allowed to get into the bus and to board the plane.
Good news.
Yeah, good news. And by the way, of course, it is a coincidence, I believe, there was also a foreign diplomat of a partner country to Albania in the airport at the time. Just a coincidence. Yes, please.
So, good news. Finally, one more Mujahedeen, ex-Mujahedeen, escapes into freedom to Iran, and he's not going to be harassed anymore by the Maryam Rajavi Mujahedeen cult, who accuses and persecutes those people who do not want to take part in foreign wars and into violent jihad. Now, Gjergji, let's come back to our topic. The Iranian Mujahedeens, they are mad at us. They accuse us as being people on payroll of the Mullahs to, what term do they use?
I am a notorious and infamous agent.
Infamous of the Mullahs.
Yes, of course, every time of the Mullahs.
Of the Mullahs, and they allude that me and you, we are being paid by the Mullahs to discredit the Iranian opposition.
Maybe I do it for free.
Maybe, maybe, who knows? I mean,
because it is a pleasure to me.
And in this article that they have written in their fake news website, Iran Probe, they accuse us of collaborating with notorious agents of the Iranian regime and Singleton, they allude that it is Anne who pushed us to make a conference in 2017 in Tirana, a conference where we had scholars coming from Turkey, India, Great Britain, United States, you name it, who delivered a number of academic papers on the dangers that terrorist organizations can cause to security in Europe and in the Mediterranean. So, what do you think? Was it Anne Singleton who, in a way, pushed us to do that?
First of all, I want to explain to the viewers of this video that Albania is a NATO member country. UK is a NATO member country, so me as a citizen of a NATO member country will call the British Embassy, United Kingdom Embassy in Tirana, and I will contact the diplomats there to tell them that a certain Iran probe and the head of a cult called Maryam Rajavi is accusing British, a UK citizen, and also an ethnic British, and Singleton and Kondopande, that he is an Iranian spy. Being an Iranian spy in UK is a threat to the security of UK. As far as I know, the counterintelligence service of UK is famous. It has a history going back to Daniel Defoe, the one who wrote Robinson, 300 years and something ago, almost 300 years ago. So I believe I will help the British Embassy, UK Embassy, and also a NATO member country as UK to get rid of an Iranian spy. If they do not get rid of that Iranian spy, this means that the cult leader Maryam Rajavi is telling lies. Or maybe the Brits are stupid and they cannot, are afraid they can do nothing against Iranian spies. You can choose.
Gjergji, in their article against us, the Mojahedeen command, who uses fake names, they use the name of one guy called Erdit Aslanay. I know one guy, Erdit Aslanay. He's a journalist, works for Top. He's an actor, and he works for Top Channel. I contacted him. I told him, Erdit, is it you who wrote this article? He said no. Anyhow, MEK, the commanders, people like Speedy Gonzalez, Behzat Safari, Ahmed Taba, Gila Dehim, the tank commander Ferid Mahuchi, who after coming to Albania have changed his name, have lied to Albanian authorities, and now goes around with the name Farid Tutunji and others. When they write articles, they write with nicknames because they are afraid of revealing their name to the public, because they are wanted war criminals in Iran, in Iraq, and in many other countries. Anyhow, they use fake names to write fake articles, to produce lies against us, but even other people who reveal what kind of cult the Rajavi cult is. And in their latest article, they write, the Iranian resistance, which means the Mujahideen terrorists, has revealed that the Iranian regime pays each of these, which means me and you, 1,000 euros a month to lie, slander and insult the MEK as part of its demonizing campaign against MEK in Albania. Do you receive 1,000 euro per month, Gjergji?
First of all, I feel myself discriminated, because according to that fake news production factory called the Iranian Probe, certain Daniel Kasarei, an Italian-Iranian individual, was paid by Mullahs regime 7,000 euros a month. I have drank a coffee with him, and I think I am better than him, so I feel myself discriminated. Please, dear Mullahs of Tehran, raise my salary, my monthly salary, at least 10,000 euros.
10,000.
Please, raise it 10,000 euros.
Okay,
I feel discriminated.
You are on record, Maryam Rajavi. We are asking for a salary of 10,000 euro a month.
Not 1,000,
no.
10,000.
1,000 is too little.
My value is much higher than this Daniel Katsari. So 10,000 euros per month.
Maryam Rajavi, Behzat Safari, Gila Dehim. Gila, you who keep this bag and who go to every TV station here in Albania and do, of course, advertisements. Please, look, 1,000 is not enough
It
for
is
us.
very little.
We need 10,000. And for the record,
Per month.
and for the record, Maryam Rajavi, if the mullahs of Tehran will pay us 10,000, I swear to Gladys Nano's head, we are going to pay tax to the Albanian government.
Yes,
20%.
No, not 20%.
How much?
It is a tax paid on the source of the income, because this is an income.
Correct.
And of course I will pay taxes. I am a patriot, I love my country. Whatever income I have got, I pay taxes, of course.
We will give this tax to the Albanian government for your own good and security. The anti-terror police, how much does the one anti-terror officer get?
Those of counter-terrorism, I don't know.
$500 a month? 700?
Less, I believe.
So look, Maryam Rajavi, if we get 10,000,
Yes,
look, if we get 10,000 a month, we'll have 4 counter-terrorism police paid to protect you. Good news.
By Iranian money. By Iranian money.
By Iranian money?
Yes.
By two months?
We receive the money.
We receive
we receive the euros. The taxes are taken from us by the state, and these Iranian money are used to pay counter terrorist agents.
Okay,
Albanian counter-
Gjergji, let's be serious.
Okay.
Are we being paid 1,000 euro a month or
Of
not?
course not, but I want to pull the leg. Of course, pull.
Maryam Rajavi, please pray for us. We really wish to be paid 1,000 euros per month.
No, I want 10,000.
Okay, he wants 10, I want 1, you know. Please pray for us. I mean, we really need to be paid 1,000. To 10,000.
10,000, please.
Okay, Gjergji, now I'm going to interrogate you. I'm going to pretend that I am a MEK commander. Imagine I am Behzat Safari. I have
Please. I refuse because I have sued him at the Durrës local court, so don't mention it.
Okay,
Please.
let I say I am the jihadi commander Gila Dehim. Do you prefer to be interrogated by a jihadi lady?
Whatever.
Whatever. Okay, so
It's not the first jihadi lady I've crossed swords with.
Okay.
I've crossed swords with Daesh jihadi lady, that Maria Sergio Giulia married to an Albanian. Okay.
in Italy, right?
Yes.
All right. So let us imagine that I'm Gila Dehim, because in their article the Mojahedeen say there are many questions that these two individuals must answer clearly for the sake of the security and public opinion of the Albanian people, including number 1, when you were in the even hotel in Tehran, was your host in the Evin hotel the same Mohsen who briefed Amir Saduni, or he was someone else? What was his name? Am I,
Well, yes, you are
am I
correct.
acting good? So imagine that
Not bad, not bad.
I'm Gila Dehim.
As an amateur actor, you are quite good.
Okay.
Well, I don't know the name of the manager of Evin Hotel. It was a nice hotel. There was also some snow when we reached Evin Hotel, but I don't know the name of the manager, so I cannot help you whether he was Mohsin, what was it, or somebody else. I don't know the CEO, the manager of Evin Hotel. I don't know. I'm sorry.
So you're-
I know only by face.
Okay.
Waiters, cleaning ladies, that bellboy. Only these.
So the answer is probably Mohsen was the manager of the
I
Evin
don't
hotel.
know. I don't know the name of the
And he
manager
was
of the-
probably the guy who took your luggages, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The bellboy at the elevator. Yeah.
Maryam Rajavi, 1 for you, 0 for Gjergji.
Yeah, Neil.
The second question. Olsi and Gjergji confirms with his voice on YouTube that they are taking money from the Iranian regime. How much have they received so far?
Well, I can confirm live on video that when I ate an ice cream in Isfahan, in that famous
Mosque courtyard.
mosque and also Grand Bazaar of Isfahan, the ice cream was paid by the money of Iranian regime. I believe it was some 20 cents. I don't know how many, 2 months, but it's some 20 cents, yes.
So-
they paid me 20 cents because one of the Iranian regime bought me the ice cream, and when I went on video eating the ice cream and discussing.
So you
One
had
ice cream bought by the
The
money of
Iranian
regime. Yeah.
other money.
Only this.
Only,
I can confirm it.
no, it's not true.
No, only one ice cream. Only one ice cream.
Who-
I accept it.
Who paid for your hotel, your food, your rice when you ate in Iran?
Pilau, you mean? Huh?
Yeah, the pilau. The Iranian regime still.
Well,
Well,
first we were invited by an NGO which covers problems of media, press, journalists, etc., etc. I've got the invitation. It is in written form, signed with the letterhead of this NGO, and they paid for the food, they paid for the transport, for the car, for the van, they paid the hotels. I don't know if one has to pay to enter a mosque in Iran, but if one has to pay, of course they paid it. They paid also to enter a museum, the Museum of Iran-Iraq War. I don't know if one has to pay to visit that small mosque when the late Imam Khomeini used to pray. What is the name for
the
small mosque?
Husseiniya.
Husseiniya. I don't know, maybe it is you have to pay to visit it, but we visited. So, if I invite somebody from Iran, not now because the problem of visa, because of Rajavi, of course, I invite him, I will cover such expenses. So, if that evil woman called Maryam Rajavi thinks that I sold myself for a bowl of pilau, for a cup of tea, or for a bed in a normal hotel, not a posh one, very luxurious, but not a motel. It was a normal hotel, nice one. Okay, I am sold for a bowl of pilau.
A plate of pilau.
Yes, just like Esau, he was in the Bible. He was sold for a bowl of let us call pilau or boiled rice.
Or like Judah the Iscariot.
No, Judah was paid in
shekel?
in
Aspra?
well, in coins it was Argent coins,
For
silver coins,
Yeah, for 80 silver coins.
silver coins. So no coins. I was
So
paid no coins.
are you going to sell Maryam Rajavi if the mullahs pay you 80 silver coins? Will you put yourself in the shoes of Judah?
Well, I prefer somebody else, another character from the Bible. I prefer Jesus Christ, to follow his example, not Judah's example. No,
All right.
thank you.
Now,
Not even Saint Peter's example.
Now, the other question. After their last visit to Iran, they have multiplied their attacks against the MEK daily, huh? Not weekly, daily, wait. They have also stepped up their attacks on the Albanian government. This is a good question. Which the supreme leader of the Iranian regime called an evil little country. Who orders you, Gjergji Thanasi, to do so?
First of all, I am a little bit lazy type, so I'm not that hard working to attack daily MEK. I am a little bit lazy. First. Second thing, I do not need to be remotely controlled from Tehran to attack MEK. No. I simply offer facts, documents, written papers,
Investigative reporting.
investigative reporting, and thirdly, this is important, the cult leader Maryam Rajavi should understand something. Albania of Edi Rama is not yet Iraq of dictator Saddam Hussein. This is a hybrid regime. We have democracy and authoritarianism mixed together, not just dictatorship. So we Albanians still enjoy the right, the sacred right, to criticize the government, to attack our government,
Not to attack, to criticize.
No, to criticize, to attack. It is a sacred right. It is in the Constitution, for God's sake. To attack our government, to oppose our government, even to vote against our government. Yes, we have the right to vote against Premier Rama. Understand this. This is a sacred right. It is in the Constitution. Our country is not a dictatorship. In dictatorship, you get hung by the neck or shot, or they shoot you for attacking the government, for criticizing. There is no lesa maesta death sentence for attacking the premier, for criticizing him, for opposing him, even for calling him names. Okay? Got it?
Maryam Rajavi, we do not live in Saddam Hussein, Iraq. We do not live in Mohammed bin Salman, Saudi Arabia. We do not live in the totalitarian camp of Ashraf III. We live in democracy, bitch. We can insult even you. And you cannot stop us.
Something else.
You cannot stop us. Good? Clear? Go ahead.
Well, the cult leader Maryam Rajavi should understand that Khashoggi case cannot be repeated in Albania. It is something different, Albania. Come on, wake up, Rajavi, wake up. This is a semi-democracy. You cannot call the Mukhabarat colonel and he can kill people, he can make them vanish, he can destroy their houses, and he can pave the way for you to do anything.
We live in democracy, we live in Europe, Maryam Rajavi. Forget it. You cannot silence us. You cannot silence us with anti-terror police. You cannot silence us with Sander Leshai, who lost his job.
The ex-minister. The one who was fired, resigned.
You cannot silence us by complaining against us in Western embassies. You cannot...
Easy. What Western embassy?
Okay, sorry.
No, he's wrong. I am his friend, but I love the truth.
Yes.
Maryam Rajavi is not allowed to go back to France, to Belgium. How can she be received by a Western embassy?
Well, we never know.
Have you proof, facts that French embassy or British embassy or Italian embassy or Austrian embassy or whatever, Dutch embassy here in Tirana received, or Swedish embassy?
They keep on contacting the Americans everywhere. On internet, on Twitter. No, hold on. I have journalists who have, from Clan TV station, who have found, and this is for the public opinion, they have found documents on money that MEK receives from certain Arab countries. And this journalist, who is alive, works in Clan TV, has told me over the phone that
registered,
my phones are recorded, he received a call from US Embassy not to broadcast the money that they discovered with an undercover operation of the country in the Middle East who sponsors the MEK cult. This is a fact.
Well, I am a Christian. I am just like Saint Thomas, the doubting Thomas. Without touching the stigmata, I do not believe Christ resurrected.
Yeah.
So I need proof. I need proof to establish a contact between MEK and US Embassy in Tirana, the India Rich compound. No, I have not that proof because Americans love pets, animals, pets. But some pets they keep at home, some pets they keep
in the forest,
in the yard,
or in the zoo.
Maybe MEK is a pet of the US Embassy, but they keep that pet in the zoo or in the yard, not at home.
Of course. No,
so
I agree.
Please, you should make this difference for our viewers.
No, I totally agree with you. Now,
it is a pet not kept at home. It is dangerous.
The other question. They have access to some information about the members of the MEK that is only in the possession of the Ministry of Intelligence of the Iranian regime. Who in Iran provides this information to us?
First of all, how does a member or a commander of Rajavi cult know that this piece of information or that piece of information is held only in the Ministry of Intelligence of Iran? How? How does he or she know this? Second, We live in a global world. We do not live in a gated compound called Ashraf Free Camp. We are rather free here. There is a thing called internet. There is a thing called Google. There is a thing called smartphone. With this smartphone, I can contact Iran, Iraq, USA, New Zealand, Norway, Japan, Harare, in Africa, whenever I want. And I can contact them and I can receive information. Whatever I know, and I've shown and I've written only about some of things I know. You know, the iceberg effect and the iceberg technique and the name dropping technique. They are very much used in public relations. So I've used name dropping technique to remind you that I know something, and also iceberg technique. I've shown you this, but there is that big that I have not shown you. So I use a lot of contacts, not necessarily Mullahs regime,
Ministry of Information, Secret
Intelligence,
Service,
VEVAC, the name of Iranian Secret Service now. I use journalists, I use diplomats who have worked in Iraq, and there are several diplomats who have worked in Iraq and in Albania. With some of them I've got friendly relations from 25 years ago. But you cannot know these things. Our counter-terrorism directorate hasn't got a full file on me. So you cannot even imagine what a free and rather clever journalist like me can do using the globalism, using internet, using Google, using even a cheap smartphone. Wake up. This is a new world. It is 21st century. I know the Cascavel man, your MEK member driving an armored reconnaissance vehicle with a 90mm cannon, Brazilian-made Cascavel. I know it. I've got photos of him showing like this on board that Cascavel armored reconnaissance vehicle. Okay? So there is no need to go into the files of the Ministry of Interior, Ministry of Intelligence of Iran. No, public photos of it. I see the public photo, I see his face walking in the streets of Tirana, older of course, the hair has gone grey, etc., etc., and they put one and one together and they make two. This is investigative.
There is
investigative journalism. I've done much more than like this. I've traced even mortar shells going from Albania to Gaddafi. I've traced man-portable air defenses. Man-portable air defenses, surface-to-air missiles from Ukraine to Albania and from Albania to Yemen, let us say. Okay, I can mention some of those running guns. Gheorghe Tesic, Slobodan Tesic, Petar Chernogorats, etc., etc.
We have even...
So, if I can track such gun runners, what about you? Who are you, Maryam Rajavi?
And you are cheap.
Cheap and dirty tool.
And
just
moreover,
like a blouse made in China, $5.
And moreover, some information for Maryam Rajavi, where we get your information. Number one, you have many defectors in Tirana who know and have contacts inside the camp. Number two, I
have my personal contacts inside your camp. Now, this is not a crime in Albania. This is a free country. This is not a crime.
Number two, you have dozens of members inside the camp.
No, three or four
for you, sources. Maybe even more than that, who have managed to smuggle smartphones and who hate your organization. These people, they want to escape, but of course they are afraid, because if they escape, you will label them Iranian agents.
No, they will be chased and maybe killed by the armed guards.
Yes, maybe you are going to kill them. So you have big mess inside your camp. Number three, there are people in the Albanian Secret Service who have their own people inside the camp, and there are many Albanian agents, security agents, who are enough patriotic to reveal to the media and the journalists what you are
leak information.
So listen, it is not only Olsi and Gjergji who investigates you. It is Albanian Secret Service. You have bugs inside your camp. They listen to you, Maryam Rajavi, even when you go in toilet. So you shouldn't be so secure about what you do inside the camp. The Albanian Secret Service, anti-terror police, they know everything.
Not everything, but some things they know.
Many things they know.
By the way, your walkie-talkies. Be careful when you speak on your walkie-talkies.
Your walkie-talkies.
Shorter range walkie-talkies.
Your walkie-talkies are also being listened by Albanian Secret Service, so you are not immune. Do not think that we are doing nuclear or we're doing rocket science by speaking to the media. Of course, me and Gjergji, you cannot blackmail us. You are already blackmailing us.
With what?
With investigations, with anti-terror police, with your lies, with your allegations that Mullahs push us to speak about you. But
I am not pushed. I enjoy to investigate you as leader of a cult. I enjoy it.
Listen, we have journalists in Gazeta Shqiptarja, in Top Channel, in Klan TV, in Ora News, in News 24, who know so many things about you, but they're afraid from their bosses.
In Dritare, Rudina Dritare also.
But they're afraid to speak, because if they speak, you are going to blackmail these medias, like you have blackmailed Ora News, like you have blackmailed Top Channel, like you have
Tema
TV, like you have blackmailed Klan and News 24 and other medias. And these journalists, they're afraid for their future. They want to send food to their families to eat.
To put food on the table, yes.
And this is what you are using. You are using economic blackmail. Since you're coming to Albania, you have destroyed so much from the freedom of media and press that we have in our country. We have many journalist friends who come and give us information about you. I have a personal friend, even one of the guys who goes with your Maryam Rajavi to Paris. I'm telling this on record for our anti-terror police. The guy who makes your documentaries, he's my friend. So listen, there are so many eyes watching you, and you cannot hide from the illegal crimes, detentions, breaking of Albanian penal code that you are doing by calling for a military jihad against a foreign country, by keeping hostages. All the world saw what you did in 2018 to Sumaya Mohammedi. You didn't allow her to go and meet her family. You didn't allow her
to phone to
even
her
to
family.
talk to her family. You didn't
Over
allow
the phone,
you
not
didn't allow her to talk even to judge or the prosecutor on her own. You were always sending her with Mojahedeen commanders, threatening her. Males threatening her not to say anything wrong and not to escape from you. So, do you see how much naked you are? You cannot hide what you are doing. The only thing that you can do is you blackmail, you put names, you do character assassination, you allude that we are Iranian agents and we don't give a shit about what you're saying.
I don't care.
And look, what you are doing with this, you are creating much more hate in the journalistic community of Albania. Me and Gjergji were public faces, but there are dozens behind of us who have so much information and they leak it to us. So it is not the Iranian regime. There are people around you. There are peasants in Manza, people whom you go to their shops and give them pictures of Gjergji Thanasi.
Wanted
illegally in our country against
violating Albania.
Violating Albania. You're doing pictures. You are paying spies in Manza for not allowing Gjergji Thanasi to come with.
Not allowing. Just informing that he is in Manza. Wow.
And you know, many of these
Schwarzenegger is in Manza.
These brave patriotic Albanians who take your money, they give us information. They tell us that you are buying speedboats. We have seen pictures of what you are buying. They tell us to whom criminals and drug smugglers you are talking with. So we know everything. And as I told you in my written response to you, Maryam Rajavi and Mojahedeen gang, We know many things, but we're not revealing all the things that we know.
Easy, soft,
So we give you a medicine, one
bit at a time,
in a
a bit at
day.
a
We don't want to kill you immediately. We want to cure you. So
there is a saying in Chinese, killed by 1,000 cats.
yeah.
Up to now there are 60, 70 cats. There are more to come.
So we have so many people, even in the Manza where you live, who tell us what you are doing, and this is democracy. Our autocratic ruler Edi Rama, who steals the elections, who kills the protesters, and the world doesn't say anything about it. He cannot stop us from the freedom of information, right? So we live still in a democracy, and if in one moment you are
Well, mixed regime,
a
but
mixed
there
regime.
is a degree of
So
democracy.
if in one
There is a
moment the
degree of
government of
democracy.
Edi Rama will bring a law and will say it is illegal to talk about MEK because they're doing this now.
I shall obey to the law.
We will obey to the law. We'll go to Switzerland or to United Kingdom. We'll take political asylum there, and we're going to write about you again. So be sure about that. Now, Gjergji, we have.
I wanted to add something.
All right.
When State Secretary Baker visited Tirana in June 1991, he had a watchword: "Freedom works." And I'm using the words of
Baker.
State Secretary Baker, "Freedom works." I tell the leader of that cult, Maryam Rajavi, that freedom works. We enjoy a certain degree of freedom in Albania, and this freedom works in our favor and against you, against your cult, against your gated compound in Mans. Freedom works. Understand this. Iran does not need truck bombs to destroy your cult. Freedom will destroy your cult. Not the missiles, not the truck bombs, not the spies, the agents, the terrorists of Mullahs regime. Freedom will destroy your camp. When the rank and file members of your cult will come in contact with freedom, they will choose freedom instead of slavery. They are almost medieval serfs now. They will choose freedom. Only a handful of you, those with their hands stained with blood, Iraqi blood, Iranian blood, Kurdish blood, even some drops of American blood. Only these will remain with you, cult leader Maryam Rajavi. Freedom works. Put it in your head, think it over, freedom works. Freedom will destroy your cult, not the terror of Mullahs regime, what you call those who are in power in Tehran. No, freedom will destroy it. The quench of the human nature towards freedom. If your rank and file members have to choose to stay in the camp, to be brainwashed, and to drink a Coke, or to smoke a cigarette, or to eat an ice cream in Tirana or in Durrës free, they will choose freedom. They will not choose your paramilitary camp. Forget about it. You boasted to them that the 40th anniversary will not come for the Mullahs in Tehran. The 41? No, 42.
For the second?
42nd anniversary is coming in 2 months. So you told them a lie. No regime change, I'm afraid. Don't lie to them, please. Freedom will destroy your cult. Maryam Rajavi. Freedom, freedom, freedom.
We have 2 more questions.
Yes, please.
So I'm pretending again to be
Yeah,
Ghulam Ali
yeah.
the jihadi commander.
Yeah.
What secret trips have you made to Iran, and with which organizations inside Iran that were listed as terrorist organizations are you related to? Second part is about me, but you respond.
Okay. Secret trips? No secret trips. I've been twice to Iran, and I've published several articles with photos from every trip on newspapers and also on my Facebook. If it is secret, and I published it on my Facebook, on a newspaper, online, what kind of secret is it? And not just words, photos. Visiting the museum, visiting the mosque, visiting graves, doing shopping, drinking tea and saffron, traveling with the underground in Tehran, chatting to Iranian kids, teenagers taking photos of protest demonstration of teenagers. They wanted dedicated lines for bicycles in Tehran because the Iranian regime had infringed their rights to have dedicated lines for bicycles in Tehran. Yes, I published photos.
Let me respond
So
also.
what is secret here?
Let me respond.
Hey, wake up.
Because their question continues with my name.
Yes, please.
Iranian Fars news agency inadvertently published a photo of Olsi and Gjergji in a meeting organized by the New Horizons Institute. This institute has been designated by the United States as a terrorist organization. Now, let me. Okay, you want to respond?
I want to ask a question. It was a meeting in private and public. The meeting either is public or private. How is it possible? Private means something closed, maybe secret. But it was a meeting with people coming from the four corners of the globe.
As a matter, let me give you some explanation because MEK is mentioning this. They, I think, even gave probably money to Arthur J in a TV debate that I was, and Arthur J told me, "Look, you are in this conference. What you are doing?" And I responded, "Yes, Maryam Rajavi. I have been, I think, in the year 2018 or 17, I don't remember, in a conference in the city of Mashhad. The conference was paid by the municipality of the city, and we were around 100, if I'm not wrong, or even less, foreign journalists, intellectuals, professors from Canadian, American universities. We had ex-CIA analysts, people like..."
I will interrupt you. I'm sorry. I have a question. How is it possible that FBI, who is paid to do counterintelligence work in USA, has not arrested those Americans taking part in this conference?
Because America...
Are they stupid, those FBI
Because America is democracy and is a free country. And for the information of Maryam Rajavi, I have gone to this conference.
Excuse me, I will interrupt you.
Okay.
I'm getting crazy today.
Okay,
Why don't you call FBI and tell them that there was this American, that American in this conference? Maybe FBI arrests them. You give a hand to FBI.
No,
you should do it.
No, because we live in democracy, Maryam Rajavi.
I forgot.
And number one. Number two is when I was invited to this conference about Palestine, Maryam Rajavi probably should know that I am a great fan of Palestine. I have written a book about the situation of Palestinians. So, I mean, wherever the world invites me to show my experience about the concentration camps of China against Uyghurs in Xinjiang, or wherever they invite me to give my experience about what I witnessed with other Albanian journalists in the occupied territories and Israel, I'm going to go, Maryam Rajavi. Even, I told you in my written response to you, even if in your MEK camp, if you organize a conference about Palestine, I'm going to come and I'm going to lecture to your Mojahedeens the crimes that the Israeli apartheid regime does against Palestinians, the same regime that supports you to do terrorist activities against Iran. So now that Americans have designated, have blacklisted the New Horizon organization, I'm not going to them anymore. Why? Because I don't want to get into trouble with the Americans. In the time, they were not blacklisted. Maryam Rajavi, you are blacklisted by France, by the European Union, by the British government, by the Americans. You are not allowed to enter in
the Americans up to 2012.
You are terrorists, but you are not allowed to enter the United States of America.
Even America?
Yes.
Maryam Rajavi?
Yes.
And you only France and Belgium? Oh, even America.
And I bet,
very nice.
I bet with you, Maryam Rajavi, I'm going to pay your ticket if you can prove to the world that you can enter the United States. But what does this mean? Should Albania be in big trouble because the United States does not let you in? Albania is hosting you. There are many people who cannot enter the United States. We have many politicians. We have our chief prosecutor, Adriatic Lala, who has been blacklisted by the Americans. But we as journalists, we are going to talk to Adriatic Lala if we want to interview him someday. We have no problem talking and participating in activities that are legal, are not violent, are not against the laws. So you have to know this. Gjergji, we have the final question. Of course, MEK says, there are many other questions that the public must be informed of the answers. Like, why these two people, whenever terrorists and criminal affiliated with the Iranian regime are expelled from Albania, they regard it as a conspiracy and condemn the Albanian government in favor of the criminal Iranian regime? Good question.
First of all, I have never declared that any person expelled from Albania is innocent. But when I have carried out an investigation, I have uncovered facts and proof that it was a red herring or a false flag operation. The case of the two Iranian journalists who covered Nowruz celebrities celebration in Albania in March 2018 was such a case. It was a false flag operation, a red herring operation, because they were not terrorists, they are journalists, and they were not expelled. They were not expelled. Our counter-terrorist guys made a mistake with them. They found nothing in them to compromise them. They found no weapons, no explosives, no intelligence work, no photos or videos. They even lied to those of counter-terrorism in Albania. They lied saying there were photos and videos, but we erased them. If they have erased them, they have committed a crime.
They must go
according
to jail.
To our criminal code. One thing. Second, I proved that they were invited by the head of the Bektashi community in Albania. I published the paper written, the invitation written and signed by Baba Mondi, the head of the Bektashi community in Albania. Then I published the visa. They have received a regular visa from our consulate in Istanbul. And they have not, the visa was gratis, free of charge, even free of charge. This means that our Ministry of Foreign Affairs accepts Iranian terrorists free of charge in Albania without making them to pay for their visa. Oh, wake up. This is a tall lie, and I'm not sorry of you. I'm sorry of Mr. Mike Pompeo, quite a gentleman, ex-head of CIA, actually Foreign Secretary of USA, joining the chorus of and singing that lie that there was a truck bomb, a car bomb, an attempt of terrorism in Albania in March 2018. I have published the photos of their passports, and all the documents came from Albanian sources, Albanian government sources. Of course, I do not betray my sources, but I tell you, I assure you, this is the way I receive my information. And I proved beyond any reasonable doubt that it was a false flag operation, it was a red herring, and it is a lie. And many secret service in Europe, many foreign ministry in Europe know this. It was a false flag operation, it was a red herring. And by the way, I want to explain more about my sources. How do I get that special information? Today, maybe maximum tomorrow morning, I shall publish an article about people from Kormarshar city complaining to Albanian government, to our Premier Rama, and pleading with him to allow to contact the Serbs you keep at Ashraf 3 camp in your gated compound. This is the source. The source is from Kormarshar. It is not from Iranian Secret Service. It is from individuals who really exist there. A couple of them even speak broken English, and I spoke to them. And I contacted them not through the Iranian Secret Service. I contacted them directly. I don't think Iranian Secret Service keeps a minder with them 24 hours a day, waiting for the phone call from Albania, from me, from Gjergji. No. I contacted a couple of them, broken English, but they confirmed that they had written that complaint to Premier Rama to plead with him to exert pressure on you in order to allow the loved one who are in this camp as serfs, as semi-slaves, to contact their family members in Iran. Kormarshar. I shall publish their names. If you want, even the number of their identification document, their passport, their identification card they have in Iran. And I do not need to contact Iranian Secret Service to tell them, please send me the identification number of their card or their passport. No, I contacted them directly. Okay, this is globalism.
Thank you, Gjergji.
Bye bye.
Now I'm also going to respond. Maryam Rajavi, me personally, I have reacted in a number of occasions when our government has wronged your opposition here in Tirana, Albania. And we don't do this for the Iranian regime. For your information, the government of Iran does not even care about many of your defectors. But we do it on humanitarian basis. We have reacted about the crazy story of Somaya Mohammadi. This young lady that you took her when she was 17 years old from Toronto. You destroyed her life. You keep her in this camp of yours, brainwash her for doing jihad for you, Maryam, against Iran, instead of allowing this girl to go back to her family in Toronto, to have a life, to marry, to have a degree, to have a job, to have a car, to have children. And when their family was here in Albania, not only me, but it was all the Albanian public, all the medias, all the journalists who were shocked to see how you're keeping hostages in our country. The police of Durrës, the OPJ, the investigative police officers of Durrës, the court of Durrës, the prosecutors, they were shocked to learn what you're doing. But of course, because you have a higher power who defends you, they didn't do anything about it. If I keep Gjergji hostage, if I lock him in a room for 10 minutes, he has the right to sue me for hostage taking. But you're keeping thousands of poor, brainwashed Iranians in your camp. You are not allowing them to talk to their families. Their families cry about them. You have seen my videos. You have made articles against me telling the Iranian regime, the Mullahs are sending the families to do psychological terror. The people who do terror, it's you. So we are humans, Maryam Rajavi. We are humanists. And we do not care about you. You know, I stood up against the Communist Party of China. I became enemy of China when I denounced what they were doing to Uyghur Muslims in their concentration camps. You think I'll give a shit about you and your psychopaths? The jihadi command that you have here in Albania? Forget it. Me and Gjergji, we reacted about Ehsan Bidi because you wanted him to get killed in the Greek border. You wanted to create a diplomatic incident and border incident between my country, Albania, and the EU country, Greece. In this moment that you are talking, thanks to your money and corruption that you are doing with quisling elements of Albanian police, you have again locked Ehsan Bidi in a detention center of
And by the way, I shall do my best to help him, to free him, not to run away from that kind of camp or prison, but to free him legally. Yes, a legal battle will come and we shall defeat you again. It is the third time we defeated you, and the Ehsan Bidi case will be the fourth time. I promise, and generally I keep my promise.
Maryam Rajavi, you cannot imprison people who think differently from you. Mehdi Abrishamchi, Mohammed Mohandesin, and all the shitheads that you have in your organization. Please stop terrorism. You don't like the government of Iran, good for you, but don't commit terrorism. Don't keep hostages. Do not jail people. You have jailed this, there is a guy, Ghulam Shakari. You send Albanian police after him, and you jailed him only for sending a person from his home to a bus station. And you pushed Albanian police, they are charging him.
Bus terminal in Tirana.
In Tirana, and you are charging, the corrupt elements of Albanian police are charging him of smuggling people to outside
Montenegro.
Can you imagine what you are doing?
Excuse me. By the way, I managed to find all the paperwork of the court case, and then publish that. Of course, this paperwork was not given to me by the mullahs of Tehran. It was given to me by people working in the government of Albania, civil servants, members of the judiciary of Albania. So not everything comes from Tehran, from the mullah regime, from the secret service of regime. A lot of things are leaked to press, to me, to Olsi, etc., from Albanian civil servants.
So Maryam Rajavi, I want to tell to you that it is our holy journalistic duty to reveal to the world what you are doing. Ghulam Shakari, Ghulam Mirzaei, Hassan Hirani, Ehsan Bidi, and dozens of other defectors who have managed to escape from your concentration camp in Manza. These people, they deserve to live in freedom. You are jailing them. You are forcing the Albanian government to not even give them work permits to work, to earn a living. They are working illegally here. I mean, this is a crime. Come on, stand up. You and your idiots who believe that you are going to bring democracy to Iran. You claim that you'll bring democracy, you liberate Iran from mullahs and other bullshit. Prove to the world that you believe in democracy. Let your opposition to exist. Open the gates of your camp. Do not blackmail your member. Do not cheat. Do not lie. I mean, listen, what we're doing is in your favor, is in a favor of the Mojahedeen soldiers that you have. These people, they have human rights. You cannot treat them as jihadis. We are not in Raqqa here. We are not in Mosul. You are not Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi in the deserts of Syria that you can get away with crime and murder. And this is what you were doing. If the mullahs of Iran would like to pay us for this job, we beg them, please pay us. Give us.
We shall pay taxes.
We shall pay taxes. I mean, if the mullahs.
In the revenue office.
And listen, Maryam Rajavi, we are saying so many things about you. Why don't you come and face us? I mean, I've begged you dozens of times.
I implore her to.
Please, come, let's have a debate in any TV station you want. You have seen what I did last January 2020 when I was in Top Channel in Albania, and I spoke with our ex-Minister of Defense, Dritan Demirai. And I asked him in front of 3 million Albanians, I told him...
Minister of Interior, Colonel of Armed Forces. And
yes, and I asked him, look, we have this organization in Albania. They make call for jihad. They break the penal code of Albania. They keep hostages. Why our government is not implementing the law? And he didn't know what to say. Because, of course, they are afraid of the Americans, but Gjergji says there is no little paper from them, we cannot prove it, no problem. But look, we say in Albania, nuk mbulohet dielli me shosh. You cannot hide the sun with how can I say?
With a sieve. With a sieve. Word for word translation.
With a sieve. I mean, we cannot hide the truth, Maryam. And you cannot buy us. You cannot blackmail us.
We are not for sale. Oh,
we're not for sale. And listen, Maryam, as I wrote in my Albanian response to your insulting and fake news article that you wrote about us, I'm ready to testify about what you are doing in Albania, in courts, in the European Parliament, in the American State Department, in any institution, in the Hague, International Court of Hague for you. And listen, one day, believe me and mark my words, one day you are going to end up in the ICC. You are going to face judgment for what you are doing. One of the reasons why you keep hostages, you don't allow people like Sumay Mohammed and others to escape into freedom because you don't want to leave witnesses alive. You don't want the slaves that you have inside of your camp to get out and to talk to the world. That's why you are so aggressive with the media. That's why you are saying that we're more dangerous than the mullahs of Iran. Yes, we are more dangerous than the mullahs of Iran because we are not a regime, we don't have an army, we are journalists, and we're speaking the truth. And that's why you feel so much threatened from us. And you cannot blackmail us. An advice from me, do not provoke us because we have so much information about you. So behave yourself. Should I close it?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you everybody for watching our interview. Madam Rajavi, me and Gjergji, we're still challenging you. Bring anyone you want, yourself, Mahdi Abrishamsi, your first husband, Masood, what is his name?
Rajavi,
second husband. If you have a third husband, Mohammed Mohandesin, Giulio Terzi, this Vidal, they have some idiots in Europe who lobby for them. Anyone you want, British, Irish, because I forget the names of these mercenaries. Betancourt, John Bolton, the lawyers, Rudy Giuliani, if you want. Bring them, let's have a debate about
Rudy Giuliani and his fourth wife.
His fourth wife,
fifth, maybe.
He's good. Did Rudy get fatwa from Maryam Rajavi to have four wives?
I don't know.
We don't know that. Okay, so please bring anyone you want. The chief of FBI, of Homeland Security, anti-terror head of Albania, Gladys. Nano, whoever. Let's have a debate. We're not afraid. Come and check us. Check our bank accounts. Check where we live. Listen to our phones. We are open. We have nothing.
I have to make a call to the chief of regime. No, of Secret Service of Iran.
Okay, one second. Not in the camera, because Maryam Rajavi is gone. Bye bye everybody. Assalamu alaikum.
Bye.